Whoa, we have our first double upload here on the channel today. And I had to do this video for you guys today because we had some huge news come out around Carnival stock, and I want to discuss that with you. We had a huge investment firm from Saudi Arabia come out and say that they have a big stake here in Carnival stock, which means they've been buying the stock lately. And I have some other good news around the stock as well on a couple of things that have happened in the last few days. So stick around for this video. It's going to be a great video unless you're a Carnival bear. But either way, you may learn something from this which may change your investment thesis on Carnival stock. Keep in mind that I actually did release another video on Carnival stock yesterday. If you want to check that out, I go into really deep detail there as to what happened with the company fundamentally that actually made me invest more into them. And as a result, I do have a stake in the company right now. And if you don't know how the stock did today, we'll discuss that later in the video. But needless to say, things are looking good for this company. But as always, hit that like to support the channel, but let's get into it. So here are the details. The public investment firm PIF, which is Saudi Arabia's official investment vehicle, came out and publicly had to disclose their position in Carnival stock because they now own over a 5% stake in the overall company, and legally, because they are foreign, they are required to disclose this. Now, their position is around 43.5 million shares of Carnival stock, which makes up around 8.2% of the overall company. In dollar terms, at today's price, if we just multiply this out, their investment is sitting close to $500 million in Carnival stock. That shows a ton of confidence here, and they clearly believe that what Carnival is experiencing right now is a short-term issue and long-term things will get better. But again, we don't know exactly what price they've been buying Carnival stock at, but considering they disclosed it here today, I think it's safe to assume they've been buying it around this $8 to $10 range or so. What is also very interesting about this fund is that they own some other extremely popular stocks here in the market, like Uber and Tesla. They also manage more than $300 billion in assets, so they are not a small player at all when it comes to investments. The takeaway here, in my opinion, is that if this fund believes that Tesla and Uber are good investments and have a strong future to quite literally multiply their gains over the long term, perhaps that same logic goes into their Carnival position as well, and that may be especially true at current prices, which is what may have drove them to this decision to own such a large stake in the company. Also, after doing some digging here, I found that there was a director of Carnival, undisclosed right now as to who that was, but they actually went out and put their money where their mouth is and bought $10 million worth of Carnival stock. Now, they did this with their own money, not with the company's money, so that shows a lot of confidence. Keep in mind, these are the people that know the financials of the business, they have access to any information on the business that they want, and they have a good idea if the company is headed towards bankruptcy. Yet, they put in $10 million of their own money, and that should tell you that they believe that this is a good turnaround play here at these current prices. Now, adding to the string of good news, some Wells Fargo analysts have come out and stated that they believe that Carnival does look to have a brighter future. And although 2020 will be a tough year for the stock with big losses on their balance sheet, things should go back to normal sooner rather than later, and the company can begin getting back on its feet. It's nice to see, in my opinion here, of some logical analysts that aren't just trying to spread fear, but go against the grain and against popular opinion. Now, on all of this good news, Carnival stock is up around 20% on the day. Many investors are FOMOing into the stock and trying to pile in now because if a large foreign firm is investing in them, chances are the stock is at an attractive value. As a result, your everyday retail investors and maybe even other hedge funds here in the US see this as a potential good investment now. And maybe at this point, they also realize that the risk to reward for Carnival may just be too good to pass up. So it may make sense to actually have a small stake in this company. Of course, there's still a risk of the company going bankrupt if this does go on for a year. But like I covered in my last Carnival video, for the short term, this is not really an issue. But I think that as good news continues to come out here around this industry, around this stock, or just around the global issue in general, we'll see a lot of shorts that are short on Carnival stock start to cover their positions, which will drive the prices much higher. As a result, I don't think it's going to be surprising to see a few more days of Carnival stock up between 10 and 20% as these shorts start to panic, they start to capitulate, and they start to close off their positions. So of course, am I planning to buy more Carnival stock here on all of this good news? I mean, you guys already know from my last video that I bought more shares and I more than doubled up on my share count with an average price on my new shares around $8.35 per share, which brings my new cost basis to around $20 per share. And as of today, just pretty much one trading day later, I'm up over 20% on those new shares. So am I going to be selling? No, I'm not. But am I going to be buying? No, I'm not going to do that either. As I've stated before, I'm happy with the size of this stock in my portfolio. I would not feel comfortable having this as a large position in my portfolio. So where it is right now, I think sits well with me, and I'm completely fine holding this for the long term. That being said, if the stock does hit $20 per share and I do find a better opportunity for my money, I may consider selling out of the stock at that point and then move that capital into another investment. If I do sell out, you guys will be the first to know, so don't worry about that. But as it stands right now, I still hold my whole position in Carnival. Big funds investing into a company and insiders buying shares of that company are typically very bullish signs for a stock. So this stock may actually come out and surprise all of us here and be at $20 or $30 per share before we know it. But if you're sitting there and you're thinking that this stock is going to rally all the way back to $70 per share in the next few weeks or something like that, I think that's a very unrealistic possibility. I don't think that we're going to get back to the glory days here of this stock with above $70 or more per share until all of their new debt has been paid off and the company can go back to making a ton of profit without worrying about debt payments. And because of that, I think that if you have a long-term outlook on this company, say 10 years or more, I can see a lot of these issues being behind them. I can see them paying off all of this debt, and I can see them being one profitable company once again, where their share price could be well over $70 per share at that point. But we won't know if that's going to happen until 10 years from now and we look back. You know what they say, hindsight's 2020. So all we can do right now is just look at this possible investment, weigh the pros and cons, the risk to reward, and then if it does make sense for you, maybe it's worth having a small position in your portfolio towards Carnival stock. That's what I'm doing. Let me know in the comment section down below if that's what you guys are doing. But either way, guys, hope you enjoyed this quick update, this double upload here today. Don't forget to watch the other video that I released here on Luck and Coffee just earlier today. And also, if you're interested, I created another video on Carnival yesterday where I went into crazy depth as to why I bought more shares in Carnival stock and, you know, all the things that changed fundamentally with the business. So check that out if you are interested in Carnival. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to invest positively. I'll see you in the next one.